Hi everybody. I have been not making as many videos lately, so I thought I would just give a quick update as to what I've been up to. Work has just gotten a little bit more intense and I haven't been able to make as many videos, but I do still work on reviews for Armorama and stuff. So I'll just show you what I've been doing. So this is the Ryefield Fairman Tiger. I have it in bits like this, where it's this part of the lower hull, and then like just this, and then this much of the turret. Lower hull, I glued the wheels on, because I wanted to actually have everything be workable like they say you can, just for fun. And then I accidentally glued too much this final drive, so now the sprocket won't turn, so whatever. I had an issue here with this not really fitting well. I had to like sand this thing to get the rear plate to fit in, and then Mr. Surfacer, I'm still gonna do a little more of it in there, just to like fit it up. I don't know why I had issues with that, because I've built their kits many times and it's all the same parts, so that was a little confusing. But, and then in the back I just put some surfacer in there to try to make sure I sealed that joint. But, you know, not much to report, other than I don't know why that didn't fit. The upper plate, these little gray bits here are Dragon replacements because the Ryefield parts were giving me a hard time, so I just replaced them with Dragon spares. The cables are fine, and the grills went on well. I think I got a couple more tools to fit on there. And there's really nothing much to say. This still doesn't close correctly here. Like, that shovel always gets in the way, so if I were you, I would not drill these holes in the bottom for that shovel. I would make sure the hatch could close and then fit the shovel on by removing the pegs and stuff, but not a huge problem. So the turret I just have together like this. This comes off, no trunnions and no escape hatch or pistol port yet. I'm leaving all that off until I do the Zimmerit. Guns all together though. But I did a test on the Zim. So this is a spare half of a Ryefield turret that I did Zimmerit with Millie put on. I think I put it a little thick, but it looks okay. It's a little crooked as well, but it was my first test using the trumpeter tools. So my objective is to take the turret as is and then just cover the surfaces with a really, really thin layer. Not here, I'll leave that off and do him separately. The thing I did foolishly was put this together, so now I'm going to have to actually put Zimmerit on the mantlet after the fact, and that'll be a huge pain. But I should be able to pull it off, and I'm doing FO1 for the Fairman Tiger, which only had Zim on the turret, so, and I might chip it up quite a bit too. Not a review build, but one of mine, and I've shown it in a couple of videos before. This is my Panther G Late from Tamiya with Kaizen tracks. I'm trying to weather this thing, but again, just time constraints. So it's in the stages of, like, decals are on. It's had a wash started. I'm going to go thicker with the wash. I've also done streaking, but so more wash and chipping and then pigments and stuff. So it's so close to done. It's annoying that I don't just take a day to do it, but or a couple days. But I'm pretty happy with it. So not much to report. I might have to put another link in here because that idler's a little too far forward and I don't think it looks right. But then I'll have to repaint and whatever. But it's a Kaizen one, so it should be okay because it's a metal pin. I can just yank it out. So. But overall, I like that thing. The Hermann Goering markings are interesting. I've also been working on this Tamiya Sturm Tiger with ATAC Zimmerit and an Aber upgrade set. The Zimmerit gave me a bit of a hard time. I've got gaps between the plates in places, and it created actual large gaps between like the plastic and the resin plate where it had solid resin. Still got a lot of bits to do and clean up, and some more parts like the crane and stuff to put on. And then I'm going to surfacer the whole upper hull, but the interior has been painted and weathered already. I'm pretty happy with that. It's fighting me oddly, I think because I tried to use so many upgrades. Using Kaizen tracks on it. It's a buddy build with my friend Michael, goes by Hamlet Barkus on YouTube, and he's already in the painting stage. So I'm a little behind on this one, but it's been kind of an annoying build for such an easy kit. And then my last review kit that I'm working on, well, I'm about to start another one, but this is the Panther V2 from Dragon that I'm doing for Armorama. The turret is kind of, I don't know if you can tell, but this is an example of kind of the thick plastic with sort of slightly muted details. Because they had to mute this mantlet from the old kit, and it's actually from '02, it's like 13 years old, 14 years old. They made a turret that kind of matched the fidelity of that, so it's a little clunky. I guess that's the best way I would describe this turret, but went together all right. I have the gun just dry fitted, so for the review I'll use the kit barrel, and then I think I'll probably maybe replace it. Not sure yet. The hull, I have lots of opinions on because, like, so this is the rear plate, as far as I have it anyway. And if you can see me dry fit it in here, you see that gap here? They had me cut that off. And then so this was just a normal size plate, so I cut that 5mm off of that. Then I have to cut this weird diagonal angle in here, like this off. There's a ton of modifications. It's the same thing I complained about with that Tauk Panzer III build. So far not a fun build. And just to finish up, I thought I'd show you everything on my bench that is unfinished at the moment. Sometimes I'll get, a pull to work on something that's not one of my reviews, or I'll want to work on something different. This is also my problem. I'm kind of a spaz, and I just can't focus on things, but I'll show you everything that's in my mind when I think about all the things I have to finish. So that is Dragon 6700, primed in Cyno Red's black. Not the wheels or the tracks, but the main part of the tank has been. We still need to do, obviously, base, coat, camo, decals, weathering, all that. So that's getting to the point where I can finish it up. That is Ryfield's DAC, partially primed in XF1, and that's just kind of where that sits. That's Tamiya's DAC, not even completed construction because I started doing that review during the time I was building this and kind of lost interest in it, so it just sits there half built. That's Ryfield's 503 with interior, basically exactly as it was in the after action report with no paint on it, just that I took the tracks off to do a different video about tracks. There's the Brumbear I review, which has not been primed or painted. That is the Academy T-3485 with bed spring armor. Let's call it 75% built. That is Dragon's Tauk Panzer H that I gave a really, really bad review score to. I'll get magic tracks on there before I paint that, because it's actually nice when it's built up. It's just really poorly made. This is Dragon's Jagdtiger Henschel. It's kind of an old build, and I've been trying to just finish it up and paint it. But the way I did the tracks and stuff, I think I do a lot better job now, but I will eventually get paint on it. It's pretty cool. There's the V2 that I already talked about. This is TriStar's Panzer 1A. I built a bunch of it wrong. I'm not sure that I'll ever even finish it, but it hangs out on the shelf as well. There's the Panther I talked about, Sturm Tiger, and that Tiger. There's Tamiya's Vespe, which is primed tolerably in XF1, but then before I knew how to paint correctly, I had used some XF60 on there, and it's very chalky, so I'm not sure. I don't want to strip it, so it's kind of just sat there. It's basically ready to be finished, but the problem with it is that I don't like the quality of that paint finish, so what do, you know? And then this is Dragon's Beutepanzer T-3476, turret mostly primed in Steinores. And then that is Tamiya's 222. Fenders gave me a hard time, just because these older 70s molds are a little more ambiguous with what they want you to do. I'm actually used to the more complicated stuff, so it's actually pretty common for me to mess up quote-unquote easier stuff. And I forgot, last but not least, we have Scharnhorst, which is in a state of essentially, this is just a piece. And then I did one turret, just the beginnings of it, did the blast bags and the barrels, and then a couple of pieces to get it together. And then I just have like this dry fitted in there. So that's everything I got going. I suggest you never build this many things at one time. It is very stressful and not conducive to doing work very quickly. Actually, you get overwhelmed. But we'll be posting reviews soon. So yeah, bye.